Good afternoon. My name is Tamika Miller, and I'm the Executive Vice President at the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. We're going to have a webinar starting very soon about the Connecticut Small Business Boost Fund. We'll just wait for a few more minutes, a few more seconds as more people join. Again, my name is Tamika Miller with the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. We'll get started in a few seconds. Okay, we'll now get started. Again, my name is Tamika Miller. I'm the Executive Vice President of Member Engagement and Communications at the Chamber, and we're happy today to be talking to you about the Connecticut Small Business Boost Fund. This is a fund that's available from the state of Connecticut, and we've got a few presenters on today to talk to you about the details, discuss the program, assist you with any help in applying for the fund, and additional questions may arise. Just a reminder, since this is a webinar, we won't be able to see you as you're participating, so you can put your questions either in the Q&A or the chat. And also, each of our presenters will put their contact information in the chat as well. So if you think of questions after their presentations, you can follow up with them. So our first presenter is Annie Blake Burke. Blake Burke, yes. Thank you so much. And she will come just quickly introduce herself and will give you a brief overview of the Boost Fund program. So Annie, please start.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Tamika. Yeah, great to be with everyone today. I am a senior account director at a marketing and communications fund called DH. And we have been supporting the Connecticut Small Business Boost Fund team with marketing and communications support. We work very closely with the fund administrator and really want to ensure that information about this program is reaching the businesses that could really benefit from it. So that's kind of my role with the program. And I'm just going to share my screen now and just walk through some slides to give a little bit of a brief overview of the program. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes,
we're also seeing the presenter view, just so you know.
Perfect. Thanks, Beth.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the Connecticut Small Business Boost Fund, just really high level. What it does is it provides straightforward, low interest loans that are tailored to Connecticut small businesses and nonprofits. We talk about this program being flexible, personal, and invested. The goal really is to kind of walk alongside small businesses throughout Connecticut and ensure that they're getting all of the support that they need, whether it is a loan or whether it's kind of some business guidance and advice. The program really seeks to offer wraparound support services for small businesses and nonprofits as well. Just as a kind of quick overview on the kind of rate and terms. It's a 4.5% fixed interest rate for business loans. They can be from $5,000 up to $500,000, depending on kind of the eligibility of the business. And the terms are 60 and 72 months. There's kind of two options, and that depends on the size of the loan as well. But overall, they're flexible working capital loans with that low interest rate, especially given kind of the lay of the land today and rising interest rates. That 4.5% is really kind of competitive, and a lot of businesses say that they're reassured by the fact that it's a fixed interest rate as well. And I know that Anthony will get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of the loans and the terms and eligibility a little bit later on in this webinar. So then I just really wanted to, hit on a few key things today as well. Just the fact that this is a public-private partnership. A lot of folks want to know kind of how the program operates, how it is set up. And it's a really unique format because it is not just kind of funds from the state. The state has put in $75 million, and then that's also been matched by kind of private sector investors. So the fund will be at $150 million, which is available to kind of be distributed to small businesses and nonprofits. The program launched in July of last year. The governor announced it at a press conference and has really been championing this program. And then CDFIs are the cornerstone of this program. So this is kind of a really unique element to the program. A lot of times folks are not eligible for loans through a traditional bank. And so CDFIs, or what CDFI stands for, is a community development financial institution, and they are nonprofits themselves that have existed to serve specific communities. Thinking about underrepresented communities, communities in distressed census tracts. The CDFIs have been serving those communities, working with those communities for decades, and have that kind of deep experience, providing loans. Maybe not necessarily, according to numbers on a spreadsheet, but doing a little bit more of that, getting to know the business and finding out how they can support them. And kind of in that same vein, just want to talk about that this program really is more than just a loan. So, of course, that's a key piece to it, but the goal really is to move small businesses in Connecticut and nonprofits in Connecticut to be more bankable or more loan ready. And so even if a business is not successful the first time that it applies, we want them to work with the technical assistance or business support organizations that are part of the program that are there to provide free support, whether it's before, during, or after the application process. We really want businesses to take advantage of that piece of the program and to seek that support with the goal of overall becoming a stronger, healthier business, and then being loan ready as possible. So those are just sort of some of the key things I wanted to highlight just to kind of set the tone. And then I'm going to pass it over to Mark and Anthony to talk a little bit more about the specifics of the program.
And Annie, thanks. I'll just jump in for a moment before we go to Mark. Just really appreciate everyone being on here. We at the Chamber have been working with the Boost Fund over the last several months, and I think it's really important to get that messaging out because people knew the Small Business Express Fund. This is the next generation of how we get loans into businesses, so it's a great opportunity to take advantage of. It's one of just a number of programs that are available right now, and as Annie was saying, the technical assistance is a key part. So we will have Mark come on in a moment, and Mark's with Connecticut Small Business Development Center. But not just Mark, but there's many people who are part of this program, part of this ecosystem who are here to help you. We also have grants that are available through the New Haven Equitable Entrepreneurship Ecosystem. So between the loans, grants, technical assistance, it's a really great package for small businesses of all sizes right now to be able to take advantage. And, there's a lot of challenges in the economy right now, so this is a great time to use them. So Mark, maybe I'll turn to you and hear from you some of the technical assistance that's available.
Thank you so much, Gareth. Can you all hear me? I believe you can. And thank you for the introduction in regards to the Boost Fund program. And, it's really important to understand that the role that the Connecticut Small Business Development Center plays in supporting the Boost Fund program itself. Let me just kind of go back to the start of this, okay? And just to kind of just walk you through the point at which a applicant would select technical assistance. So during the application process, when you go through all the various steps and you get to the end, the Connect to Capital application will actually list out the lender or lenders that you as an applicant match with. And you will also see below all the lenders, technical assistant providers. And in fact, you are asked to select the type of assistance that you may well need, whether it is to do with business planning, financial assistance, grants, etc. And depending on your selection, you will be guided to one or more technical assistance providers. And again, you have the option to select one of those technical assistance providers to assist you. Once you've made that selection, that information will be passed through to the lender that you've selected, and secondly, to the technical assistance provider. And if you've selected CTSBDC, that your information will come through to our team, okay? And a gentleman, Mr. Scott Arnold, is responsible for looking at all of these technical assistance requests and assigning a business advisors to work with you. So that's just a bit of a backdrop. So let me kind of start off by talking a little bit then about the Connecticut Small Business Development Center, what we do and how we specifically support clients as it relates to the Connecticut, as it relates to the Boost Fund program. So as an agency, we specialize in providing free technical assistant services to small businesses across the state. We are fortunate that we have some of the brightest and best, and I know Gareth and the chambers will probably say, Mark, we compete with that term, but we're brightest and best that works for CTSBDC. They bring a tremendous amount of experience, both in terms of subject matter expertise, their understanding of businesses, the challenges that they face, and can provide a wealth of knowledge and support to small businesses, whether you are a pre-startup, a startup, or an operating business. Okay, we have at least 17 at my last count advisors that can work with you. So the question is, well, what type of assistance, Mark, can you provide to a business, and as it relates to the Boost Fund program? Generally, the center, we provide technical assistance relating to accessing capital. So if you're a business looking to grow or expand, or even a startup looking for startup capital, okay, we work with a number of micro lenders, CDFIs. For example, Headco is a CDFI up in Hartford. We have CEDF and others across the state that can provide microfinancing, for example. Others specialize in, operating capital. If you're a business that is operating and looking to expand, we can look at other lenders, whether it's a traditional financial institutions, a bank, for example, or in fact, some CDFIs can step up and provide support with SBA funding, whether you're looking at a 504 loan or a 7A loan, whatever the type of capital that you need. One of the roles of the business advisors is to really look at your business and help you determine the best route for you as a business owner in terms of your capital needs. So capital is an important part of the work that we do. We also look at business planning. So typically a lot of businesses need support with restructuring their business plan, right? How do you format a plan in such a way that it communicates the right message, the problem that you're trying to solve, and the solutions that you are bringing to solve those problems? And typically we help businesses really understand it and shape their plan in a way that, a lender can understand it and move forward. We even do work with cybersecurity, helping business understand the challenges that they face in the 21st century, both from home and international challenges, and how they harden their infrastructure, secure it, how they ensure that they are following the right protocols. Cybersecurity is a big concern right now, and many businesses, we can understand perhaps from an experiential point of view, they've had data being hacked or viruses infiltrating their systems and so on. So from a small business to a large business, you have to be aware of the challenges that face. So we do analysis, financial analysis. We do work with international trade. My colleague Denise Whitford, she's an absolute expert on international trade, and those businesses looking to export, near markets or further afield, whether you're going to Europe, Africa, South America, other continents, the various trade treaties that are in existence that you need to be aware of. We can give advice on that. Marketing and sales, research, other resources, help with intellectual property, how that is developed and how you secure your business ideas. Work with the government through their SBIR and STTR programs, where grants are available from the federal government for technical project development. And this is a really, really big area right now. You heard about the America going green, so to speak, and renewables. We talk about new technologies. We heard about the CHIPS Act kicking in right now and what that means for manufacturers in the US. There are a lot of opportunities to secure federal grant funding for that. All right, so that's kind of a broad, general kind of ideas, not ideas, but a broad kind of overview of what we provide here at CTSPDC. Now, specifically as it relates to the Boost program, and I'm going to talk from an experiential point of view. The type of clients that we see coming through the Boost portal that request technical assistance are those that need help with really improving, number one, a credit score. They may have some challenges. They might not necessarily meet some of the criteria that the Boost is asking for. Some lenders will specify certain levels of eligibility, whether a minimum credit score, even though that's not a factor, it is a consideration that the lenders make. And so we kind of help with that and guide businesses through that process. Some businesses might not have the financials in place. So we speak to the profit and loss account or income statement is not quite ready. Their year to date is not done. A lot of businesses don't employ, bookkeepers and folks to help them with the day-to-day transaction management. So we try and step in and help in making sure those financials are ready. So the income statement, the balance sheet, and cash flow. Those are three important statements, financial statements that lenders do look for. And in a lot of cases, lenders are asking for projections. So in other words, what are your next 12 months looking like? And again, businesses are required to think hard about what their levels of sales are going to be, costs and profitability. I can tell you that when lenders think about your ability to repay a loan, they are not just looking at says, well, I'm making X amount of profit. They're saying, well, how much margin do you have? What's the degree of safety, your ability to, number one, repay the loan, yes, and number two, have sufficient margins there, just in case things go a little bit not according to plan. So the lenders are looking for that, your ability to repay that loan and still have a margin of safety available. So looking at projection is important, working with you with getting those financials ready and so on. But importantly, you will hear that when you apply for the Boost Fund loan, there are other things that you have to be in compliance with. So things like ensuring that all your taxes are up to date and properly filed with DRS, ensuring that you are in compliance with the Secretary of State. So again, letter of good standing, but also that you are from a DRS point of view, Department of Revenue Services point of view, that everything is okay. You don't have back taxes. If you do, there is a payment plan in place and so forth. So there are a lot of different dynamics that a business would want to think about, and where they may have some deficiency or they may need some support in actually getting ready and ensure that they are at an important, the base point to apply for the Boost Fund loan. We are there, we can step in and we can help those businesses directly. So that's a broad overview of what we do, who we are, the services we provide, and importantly, how we can help businesses as they navigate their way through the Boost Fund application. So thank you so much. I now yield back my time to my colleagues. I'm not sure who's following me, Beth, but I guess you'll be able to direct.
I can moderate around. Thanks, okay. Mark. Appreciate it. And Mark is at the Chamber. Is an office at the Chamber. Work with SBDC all the time. So just another great partner. Want to welcome in Anthony Booth with Pursuit. And Pursuit is one of the financial partners of the Boost program, but also Pursuit is a member here at the Chamber of Commerce. So Anthony, welcome and glad to have you on.
Thank you so much for having me. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself. I'm going to put my details here in the chat because I think that how I got into community finance and how I found myself here might be something that you guys can relate to as business owners as far as like accessing these sorts of services, right? So I worked for JP Morgan, big banking institution for 13 years. I did primarily business banking and private wealth management, decided to go back to school because I didn't actually have an undergrad degree. In 2020 was admitted into Yale and I studied cognitive science here. Started doing some, just kind of on my own, was doing some consulting. And I got a phone call from a company called Pursuit about my application being out there. And they said, hey, would you be interested in doing some community finance lending? And I said, no such thing. This is all, lending is all about profit, right? Where are you going to make the money, right? Like, what is this about? And they said, no, you should definitely talk to us. We really do help businesses. This is really what we're inspired to do. And, we're really mission-based. So, okay, all right. I'm willing to hear you guys out. I sat down, learned about the program, learned about Pursuit, found out that they've got a great reputation and they do what they say they do, which is, community-based financing, really taking that deep look on businesses and really, really helping businesses out and growth when banks can't do that, right? And as I started to kind of learn more about this world, learning more about colleagues like, Mark, other colleagues at other CDFIs like CEDF, Mary and Annie, and partners that support us through these types of programs and administer these programs, I'm learning that actually these things do exist, right? And they are here for us. The biggest barrier is the knowledge and the trust, right? The biggest barrier was that same barrier that I had when they called me and said, hey, Ant, we want you to join and be involved in this. And I said, I don't believe you, right? Like when Mark says, hey, we'll help you with your cybersecurity. Or if some of you are sitting back and going, sure, right? No, it's real. Like it's really real. We really are here to help you. And why are you wondering why we're not here? When you pop in Google, cybersecurity, why SBDC doesn't pop up or services don't pop up like this is because we're not-for-profit organizations. We can't pay for the ads to compete with organizations that are out there to make big profits. And so oftentimes when we're interacting with customers, it is based on referrals. It is based on exchange of trust. But I do want everyone to understand that these services are available to you. I do want everyone to understand that regardless of your eligibility that you see in the program, reach out to us. Let us know that you are looking for help and we'll find ways to help. We'll find the people that will help you. I'm going to go over a little bit of like the criteria that Pursuit uses to underwrite loans through CT Boost. However, the CT Boost fund has other lenders that have other criteria, right? So if you're looking at this and you're going, I'm not, that's not me. So I guess I shouldn't apply. The answer is contact us. You know, my contact details are there. Shoot me an email. Anthony, I'm really interested in this boost fund. Tell me a little bit more about it. Am I eligible? We'll sit down with you. We'll have a conversation. If you're not ready yet, you know, when I introduce you to Mark or I introduce you to Scott and our partners over at the SBDC, I can tell you with trust, they will actually help you figure out what it means to look at a balance sheet, figure out what it means to look at cash flow, figure out this margin that you need to make sure that you can, you know, take on some debt and help your business grow, right? But the biggest issue that I'm finding is really, it's about trust. It's really about putting your hand up and saying, hey, I need some help. And wondering if there are actually people there to help you. And the answer is yes, we are here to help you. So if there's any message that we can get, like, put out there to you today about not only the Boost Fund, but about what we do as community development financial institutions, as what we do as SBDCs, it's we help. We really are here to help. Oftentimes our services are free or low cost. Oftentimes we can turn the no from the bank to a yes here at a CDFI, and then also give you the tools that you need to get, you know, premium financing. So with that being said, I will go over a little bit of CT Boost. I was hired in November to work at Pursuit, and I am the first person hired to work here in Connecticut, specifically with Pursuit. So really, I almost exclusively work on the Boost Fund. Boost Fund is my bread and butter. I'm going to share a couple slides with you guys so you can see a little bit of what we look for as far as criteria. Let me see here. I'm going to share my screen. Start the slideshow. Let's see. Share. Okay, you guys seeing the slides?
Yes.
Or let me see. Are you seeing slides, or are you seeing the boost funds, businesses that are not eligible?
I'm seeing what businesses are eligible. That's the slide.
Perfect.
I think.
Perfect. You know, presenter view can be confusing sometimes. All right, so guys, what we're looking at here, what Pursuit looks for, we look for businesses that are 1 or more year in business. We don't generally want to ask you at Pursuit for your, you know, for financials for the future projections. So we're generally underwriting based on actual financials. We're looking at, you know, the last few years of tax returns, and we're looking at basically profit and loss statement. Again, these are documents sometimes clients, when I ask them for, they go, what is that? I don't know how to provide that to you. You know, if they're confused and they don't use financial, you know, software that I can say, hey, go click this button and print it out. Oftentimes what I'm doing is I'm getting Mark involved. I'm getting Scott involved. I'm saying, hey, we have some business that needs a little assistance in putting together these documents. So again, if you're looking at this sort of criteria and you're looking at the documents you need to present, you're thinking to yourself, I don't know how to do this. It's important to remember that we are here to help. So businesses, 1 or more year in business, you have to operate in Connecticut to be eligible for the Connecticut Boost Fund, of course. Gross revenues less than 8 million. That's huge, because oftentimes with these sorts of programs, the revenue requirements are much lower, right? So we're really only looking for businesses, sometimes even a million or less in revenue. So it doesn't allow the mid-sized businesses to apply and take advantage of these programs. For CT Boost, that's not the case, right? So we can do loans up to $500,000, and we can do loans for businesses with up to 8 million in revenue, as long as you have 100 or fewer employers. So, you know, if you're employing 200 people, then you would not be eligible, particularly for the Boost program. All right, so I want to touch base here on this historical cash flow adequacy number, right? You see DSCR. This acronym stands for debt service coverage. When Mark was mentioning the margin that you guys need to have, right, between what you're making and what basically we can say, you know, basically you're eligible to repay the loan, this is the margin, 1.15. So here's the simple math. If we were to give you a loan, CT Boost, of approximately $50,000, the loan payment monthly is around $1,000, just simple math. So if you're looking at $1,000 a month, what we're going to need you to do is have a net income of $1,150 a month. So when we're looking at your tax return, we're going to want to see your tax return show about $14,000 of net income to support a loan payment of about $1,000 a month. That's the simple math, right? So if you're looking at what is my net income and how would I kind of figure out what I can afford, well, basically just consider whatever your debt payments are currently, right? Whatever you owe in debt currently, you need to make a little bit more than that to assume some debt, because we want to make sure as responsible lenders that we're not giving you debt that you can't afford to pay back, right? And that's what's really important. Now, if you're thinking, oh man, right now, last year I didn't have a profit, or I don't have a profit right now, I don't know what to do. Reach out to us, right? That's what Mark does, right? That's what we do, right? We will help you with that process. If you're trying to figure out how to, squeeze that profit and reach out to us, let us know. We will work with you. We'll help you understand what this looks like and help you make some goals and forecasts so that you can get there. Pursuit is looking for minimum credit scores of about 640, right? But I've done less than that, right? We've also obviously had situations where, cash flow adequacy sometimes is not exactly where it needs to be. About 60% of the loans that we're doing for Connecticut Boost are done on exception. So if you're looking at all of these bullet points and you're saying to yourself, well, most of these I meet, but one of them I don't, reach out to us, right? 60% of our loans are done when clients are not meeting every single one of these bullet points. That's what community financing is. That's what's different than a bank. I can tell you for sure, at a bank, this debt service coverage number for JP Morgan was 1.5 or 2. So you needed to be making $2,000 for every $1,000 that you could potentially assume in debt, right? And if you didn't hit all the checks box, then the answer is no, and apply again later, right? It's not like, hey, let me introduce you to my partner, or let me see how are other ways that we can help. This is how community lending is different. And I really want to stress that over and over again. Please put your hand up, ask for help. We are here for you. If you find yourself, I'm not eligible for this reason or that reason, that doesn't mean you're not eligible to be helped. It means that we are in a position that we can talk to you and give you the skills and give you the roadmap that you need to get where you want to go. Documents to present, we're normally going to ask you for 2 years of filed personal and business tax returns. If you've only been in business for 1 year, we're still going to ask for the 2 years of personal tax returns. We're going to want interim year-to-date income statements. That's that profit and loss statement, that balance sheet. Oftentimes I say that to clients and they kind of get the little question mark in front of their heads. That's okay. Okay. You're a business owner. You're not an accountant, right? So it's not necessarily your job to know exactly how to do all the accounting stuff, but you do have help. You do have resources. So lean on us. Schedule of your ownership or beneficial ownership for all forms of owners. So, we basically need to know who owns the business, and we are going to need all the owners on as long as they have a certain percentage of ownership. If you need questions about that, you can ask us directly. Copy of a government issued ID, a valid operating license for Connecticut. If your business has specific licenses, we'll ask for them, right? So if you're a doctor, we're going to ask for your doctor's license. If you are a liquor store, we'll ask for your liquor license. That's important stuff to know. And then any additional documentation may be required on a case-by-case basis. Again, we do 60% of our loans on exception, but sometimes the exception requires us to ask an extra question, look at another document so that we can gain a little bit more comfort and taking a little bit more risk in doing those sorts of loans. So let me find the place where I can unshare. Share. And yeah, I just kind of want to open it up for, whatever's next. I think we're going to go through some questions, but hopefully that was helpful for you guys to see a little bit of what a lender's looking for. But I spend a lot of time with businesses having the same conversation in depth with them specific to their business. So again, please don't hesitate to reach out. Please don't hesitate to keep your hand up and say, hey, I need some help. If you're speaking to Tamika, if you're speaking to Garrett, ask them, hey, do you know if you have any resources for this? They will connect you with people. And that's how this happens. It happens through exchanges of trust. It happens from people putting their hands up and saying, hey, I need some help and I'm not sure who to go to. But Mark and I are oftentimes in a position where we're selling free stuff, right? Where we're like, no, I promise it's free. I don't believe you. I don't want to say, I promise, I promise sitting down with Mark is not going to cost you money and he really can help you, right? And so, I just want to break down some of those barriers, let you guys know that we're here to help, let you know that this is real, right? This is not just, only certain people are eligible or only this and X, Y, and Z. Please put your hand up. Let us know that you need help and we're going to find the ways to help you.
Great, Anthony, thanks a lot. We will just open up for questions that people have. I just want to reemphasize this for everyone. So I open this to Annie and Anthony, Mark as well. If someone today wants to get into the system, apply, what are the steps that they should take right now to get started?
I would say if they're comfortable in going directly to the CT Boost website and applying on their own, do so. as you're walking through that application, you're going to yourself, this seems a little confusing. I'm not sure how to answer these questions. Reach out to us, ask for help. Reach out to Mark and say, hey, listen, I'm trying to do a CT Boost application. I'm kind of not sure if this is working or what I should be putting in here. Reach out to Anthony Booth. Anthony Booth, I'm really interested in the CT Boost program and these things that you guys do over at Pursuit. Can you walk me through this application? You know, if you feel comfortable doing it on your own, you can type in CT Boost in your Google chat right now or in your Google bar, and you will find the CT Boost website. You can read all about it and find all the information there. Tons of really valuable information for you to find there. And it's real. When you see, hey, we might be able to offer you these free technical assistance services. It's not a hoax. It's not going to turn around and charge you in 6 months. This stuff is real, but sometimes you want that exchange of trust. You want to hear it from someone. You want to hear from someone, or have a specific question. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. That would be my advice. Annie, if you want to, or Mark, if you want to add anything else.
I would just add, we can actually walk folks through it really quickly right now. We're planning to just kind of show what the website looks like, how you can find the pre-application. And then also we do have a form on the website for requesting technical assistance or business support. So you can just fill out a pretty short form and an email will be sent to SBDC and someone will reach out to help you and walk through that process with you if that's something you would like. So I'm going to pass it over to Beth to just walk through that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Thanks, Annie. Yeah, I'm going to take a second to share my screen. As Anthony mentioned, both his and Mark's information is in the chat, and you're welcome to reach out to them directly. You can also access on the CT Boost website the pre-application form right here. Of course, internet's going to take a moment. So you can begin your pre-application right here. As Anthony said, if you run into any questions, anything looks funny, you're not sure how to answer any of the questions, you're welcome to reach out to one of them. Or if you navigate to the resources page, there is a form where you can request the technical assistance or support services right here. If you fill out the form through this button, that'll go straight to the folks at SBDC. Or you're welcome to reach out to one of the other business support organizations directly, also available on the resources page. So a lot of avenues where you can get that support you need and make sure that you get through that pre-application process. If you are comfortable filling out the pre-application form, you will be matched with a technical assistance provider on the other side of that. So another opportunity to connect with those support services. And then I did want to just point out really quickly, there's an FAQ page here. So if you do have questions or are fielding questions from other folks in your community, you're welcome to consult that page. And then we also have this borrower stories page. If you're curious what lending looks like in the actual context of a business owner accessing a loan and having that support their business and how that plays out over time, there's a few different video and written stories that might be of interest to you that just walk through just how different business owners have accessed working capital through the fund and how it's kind of been used to support their business, grow their business, etc. So yeah, just wanted to point those out really quick and make sure that you know all the ways that you can connect with those technical assistance services.
That's great. Thanks, Beth. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll wait to see if any of those come up. Just one question I wanted to throw out as well. Anthony obviously is with Pursuit, but there are other CDFIs in the program. Is there a way to choose who you work with, or is it just assigned? So maybe Annie, I'll throw that to you and or anyone else who wants to jump on that question.
Yeah, so typically the way it works is the business owner would go onto the website and complete that pre-application. And like Anthony had mentioned, some of the lenders have different, slightly different lending criteria. Overall, it's, it's very similar, but based on each kind of business's unique needs and situations, they might be matched to different lenders. So we really encourage folks to kind of complete that pre-application so that you're matched with the lender that can best support you and your unique needs. But that being said, you can also reach out directly to to Anthony, I know that the lenders talk, a lot. And so if maybe one lender is not able to help your business, they can reach out and see if another lender that's part of the program might be able to support as well. But Anthony, feel free to chime in here too.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the one way that community finance is particularly different is that we are in competition for helping the most businesses. We're like, yeah, I want to help a business, right? Like we help these people. So in the event that I'm talking to clients and they're like, hey, I'm a startup, I need X, Y, and Z. I know that CEDF does startups, right? And I work with Ricardo over there. And so I'll have a conversation with the client, and I've sat down with Ricardo and we've had lunch and had conversations about exactly what he needs. So I can have a conversation with the client and say, okay, well, listen, if you're looking to get a startup loan, these are the sort of things that you're going to need to collect. If you're not already working with the SBDC, right, or someone that can help you with that, I can put you in touch with them, and I can put you in touch with this lender that will actually be able to underwrite your loan. And that's why I encourage everyone to just ask for help, right? Because like, if you're not sure, you're not sure. If you can go through the pre-application process and possibly not connect with a lender, there may be a question that you answer and it doesn't even connect you with one of us, and you might not know why, right? And so the question is why, right? Who do I talk to? Reach out to Anthony, reach out to Mark, reach out to people at the SBDC. We will help you through that, right? In the event that I'm walking you through the application or we're talking about your business and I know it's not something that Pursuit can do, then I will get my partners involved that can do it, right? And if it's something that none of us can do because of the status of the business or some recent situation, then I will get the SBDC involved and have that warm exchange of trust to say, hey, these are people that can really help you, right? And the Boost Fund, idea is for it to not go anywhere, right? For it to be a revolving fund that's here for quite some time. So then if in 6 months, if in 12 months, you can get to the point to where maybe today you're not qualified, but tomorrow you are because you've worked with, free support to help your business get to where it needs to go, then great. And then when at that time, maybe I can help, or maybe at that time, another lender is the right lender to match your needs. We will get you in touch with those lenders. So, we're not in competition with each other from the perspective of like, oh, we want the business. If I reach out to Anthony, obviously if I can help you and you feel comfortable working with me, I will help you. But there are scenarios where I have clients where I'm talking to and they go, actually, I've got this one loan with Headco or CEDF. Can I do it with them? I say, oh, I love those. I work very closely with them. Do you work with this person? Yes, absolutely. Let's get on an email, X, Y, and Z. I'll let them know that you're interested and they can walk you through the pre-application. So, we're not in competition with each other in that way. We really just want to help businesses. So to any degree that someone wants to work with someone that they've worked with before, reach out to them, right? If you're looking at the lender list and you see there's Pursuit, there's Ascendas, NDC, Capital for Change, Southeastern Connecticut, Eastern Region, Headco, CEDF. If you have a loan or if you've worked with any of these organizations before and you'd like to work with them again on CT Boost, call them. Reach out to that person that you've worked with before right away. Shoot them an email. Shoot me an email and say, hey, I don't know who that person was. Anthony, could you reconnect me with them? I'd be happy to. That's the spirit of community lending. It is truly different. I worked at JP Morgan for a long time, and the teeth are sharp on that end of finance. But here we really are here to help.
Great. Thanks, Anthony. Not seeing any questions, so we'll wrap up. I just want to really emphasize to everyone what a great program this is. This is an enhanced program from what the state offered before. I think as you got the message today, there's a lot of technical assistance, and we see that Mark and I have been talking about this recently. Even when we're working with grants, people are afraid to apply because maybe your financials aren't in the right place where you want them. But that shouldn't be a hesitation for you, because everyone here is willing to work with you. Definitely use the chamber as a resource. Just like everyone on this call, we're going to connect you to the people that can help you and get you a loan, get you a grant. And also, I know a couple of years ago, I heard from a lot of folks, hey, don't want to take in on any more debt. But the economy has changed, and these are loans that are manageable for you to use to help expand your business. It's obviously a challenging economy out there right now. And so this may be the piece that can help you expand your business, keep you going through some difficult times. So really want to emphasize this is a great program, and you connect through the chamber and we'll get you to all of these resources. For anyone who's watching this online, this is available in our video library. Just want to emphasize you can reach out to the chamber and we'll make sure we'll get you connected to all of the right people for this program. So again, want to thank everyone with the Boost program, but all of our panelists today for helping share some information, provide more details about how our businesses can unlock the Boost program. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you, Gareth.
Great. Have a great day.
Thanks.